The New York Yankees have made multiple moves, and these moves are indicating a very sneaky plan that the Yankees have that is absolutely genius and is going to help out so much in the long run. Meanwhile, Yankee fans are fired up about a new glaring issue that this team has, and Aaron Boone has spoken out on all of this. So a lot to talk about, guys. What's up? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, if you are part of that 70% that's not subscribed to Yankees Digest, this is the place to be for all New York Yankees content. And if you're part of that 30% that is, thank you so much for the continued support. But let's jump into the video. As I said, a lot to discuss, as the New York Yankees have been making some very sneaky moves that do indicate they have a very genius secret plan that a lot of people have not really caught on to yet. And we're going to break a lot of that down. And honestly, let's just jump into it, because taking a look at things here, it's just really it's a great idea what the Yankees are pulling off here, and it's working out very well for everyone involved. As it was revealed by SNY that the Yankees have designated Adam Ottavino for assignment for the second time in the last week. The move was made in order to make room for reliever Ian Hamilton on the active roster following his return from the IL. Ottavino was first DFA'd last week when closer Devin Williams was reinstated from the paternity list, but re-signed with the Yankees on Sunday. And now, once again, he is back off of the New York Yankees as he's been DFA'd. And Aaron Boone mentioned that he thinks Ottavino has a lot left in him, saying he's kind of been on our board for a little bit. I know the front office has been talking about him the last couple of weeks as a potential fit. Felt like what he was doing back at the end of spring training was in line with who Otto is. Now, Ottavino did pitch for the Red Sox in spring training before not making the team, and the New York Yankees have brought him in twice and then DFA'd him very quickly after twice. And this is not because the way Adam Ottavino is playing, it's got nothing to do with that. If you take a look at Ottavino's numbers on the season, he has looked good for the Yankees in the very limited moments that he's played. The man has not allowed a run in the 3 games that he's pitched for the Yankees, pitching 1.2 innings, getting 3 strikeouts as well. Ottavino's been solid for them, and the Yankees do like Adam Ottavino a lot, and one of the reasons why they keep DFAing him is because it gets them to keep him around. The New York Yankees are making a sneaky move right here that people aren't really giving them a lot of credit for. What they're doing is they're bringing in Adam Ottavino repeatedly, so then once they have a guy come back from the IL who they want on their team, they DFA Ottavino instead of using a minor league option on someone. And Ottavino's seemingly okay with it because he likes pitching in the New York market, whether it was with the Yankees or the Mets or even going close by to Boston and pitching with the Red Sox. The man likes being in the Northeast, and because of that, he seemingly is okay with this situation for right now, that he does get to pitch for the Yankees, and then after a while he gets DFA'd instead of options having to be used, and then he has those 3 minor league options, and that would just cause a bunch more problems for the Yankees than instead of Ottavino just being able to say, you know what, all right, I'll take the DFA, gets DFA'd. A Yankee pitcher goes down on the IL, Ottavino comes back to the Yankees, and boom, options are all there still. So it's a very genius idea for the New York Yankees, and I really like this move for them, and I think they should continue to do this. Keep Ottavino around. Why not? There's no reason not to. And now the Yankees also get back Ian Hamilton, who has been solid for the New York Yankees. I mean, Hamilton has a record of 3-3 with an ERA of 3.10 and 110 strikeouts and 3 saves in 74 appearances for the Yankees in his career over these last 2 years in the 2023 and the 2024 season. The 2023 season, he was excellent for them, pitching with a 2.64 ERA in getting 69 strikeouts as well in those appearances with 58 innings pitched. He was really good. Last year, missed a bit more time due to some injuries and stuff, but still a solid season with a 3.82 ERA. Not great for a reliever, but not the end of the world. The Yankees do like Ian Hamilton. They have him back for another year with the team. Even after that little dip last year, they do believe heavily in Ian Hamilton, and they're going to continue to roll with him, which I think is a good idea. Hamilton's he's shown a lot of good for the Yankees, and it helps to have a consistent guy who's been around the team for a bit in your bullpen, and Hamilton now will get a chance to play for the Yankees in these upcoming days as he is back from the injured list, which is huge to see as well. So good news on the Ian Hamilton front. You got to like what you're seeing there. And, well, it's important because the Yankees pitching has struggled, so Hamilton is someone who could step in and start a few games at a bullpen game like he did in the 2023 season. Didn't do that in 2024, but did start 3 games in 2023, so he has shown a lot of promise for the New York Yankees as a guy who could be the starting pitcher when you want to run out of bullpen games, something the Yankees have shown an interest in doing, though right now that could also be Carlos Carrasco who's doing that, as we've seen already. So, a lot of interesting stuff there. But we do have a lot more to discuss as well, as the New York Yankees do have a glaring issue with something, as Carlos Rodon has continued his struggles into his first 3 starts this season, and it has fans fired up. Now, Carlos Rodon's last start on Monday, April 7th against the Detroit Tigers is a bit excusable. He didn't really have the worst outing. He just had some terrible luck with some strike zone issues. I mean, Rodon was even saying to the umpire, he's like, this is terrible, that's awful. He really was not pleased. He got frustrated by the strike zone and then ended up just absolutely throwing just a gimme pitch, which got homered out. Andy Ibanez caught him. I mean, Rodon was frustrated and he got caught, and he was clearly very upset with himself. And now we've seen Carlos Rodon find a lot of struggles with the New York Yankees recently, as the New York Yankees pitching has not been very good this season. I mean, thus far, you have Max Fried, who's been all right or not all right. He's been good in these 2 starts. He's been really good. He has a 2.61 ERA. Max Fried is doing Max Fried things, and Carlos Rodon is not doing what we want out of Carlos Rodon once again. And Will Warren had a rough outing in his first 2 games, and Marcus Stroman's been rough in his first 2, and Carlos Carrasco has been rough as well. So the New York Yankees have struggled with their starting pitching, something that going into the season before all the injuries was supposed to be the best thing about them. Luckily, Clark Schmidt will be back soon, so that'll give them some much-needed reinforcements there. But we're also waiting in the wind for Luis Gil, who is an important part of this team and arguably the best pitcher. Now, as Carlos Rodon said, bottom half of the order, just got to go attack. Frustrating that I'm falling behind those guys, and we just need to be better at getting strike 1 and getting ahead of those guys. I'm definitely tired of walking people. It's frustrating. I don't want to give up free bases. So Rodon's clearly aware of the struggles. It's not like he isn't. And Aaron Boone said, it's a big, big reset for us. Carlos Rodon was excellent aside from the home run pitch. It would have been really nice, obviously, to have it go our way, but he threw the ball in a game where we needed him to do. That was good. So Aaron Boone doing the same thing that Aaron Boone always does, as frustrating as it is. Sometimes it makes sense. Boone is just always going to have his players' backs, and he's not really a guy who's going to be upset with them. He's going to coddle his guys. It's just what he does. And, well, at this point, it's just frustrating to watch Carlos Rodon, a guy who was so good the 2 years prior to signing with the Yankees, struggle. And I know the first year he was dealing with injuries and he gained some weight, and then he lost it and started pitching well in that second season where he pitched solid, even if it wasn't Carlos Rodon numbers, but it showed promise that he'd be getting back to that guy. And now we're 3 games into this season. Carlos Rodon's ERA is above 5 right now. And again, I don't disagree with Boone this time. I do think Rodon was pitching a really good game. I mean, he didn't allow a base runner until he walked 2 guys in a row, then gave up that home run. Up until that point, he was pitching well. I know it was 2 innings, but still, he was pitching really well. He had 8 strikeouts still anyway, so there was a lot to like about Carlos Rodon. It was just, unfortunately, he kind of got screwed up in the strike zone a bit, and some of those pitches should have been strikes, and clearly he was focused on that. He got his head kind of out of the game a bit, and when your head's not in it, and you throw a changeup and it hangs, you're going to allow a 3-run home run. So part of that is on Rodon. He has to stay focused and locked in, which is exactly what he said. But it's a matter of actually doing it. But I do sort of believe that Rodon will be back and be able to do that. Rodon with the Yankees has been a disappointment, though, overall. There's no way around it. We're not going to sit here and pretend like he hasn't been. Rodon would say it himself. He has a 20-19 record, an ERA of 4.77 after the last 2 years prior having an ERA in the 2s, and 279 strikeouts in these 49 appearances that he's had with the team. Look, there's been moments, there's been things to like for sure. A 3.96 ERA isn't bad at all. It's just not what the Yankees expected when they brought in Rodon. And the year prior, the 6.85 ERA, that was a lost season. They only pitched 64 innings because he was dealing with injuries the entire time. So that was a little bit different, and we kind of used that as a burn season. But then last year, he should have been a bit better. And this year, having a 5.19 ERA within the first 3 games is not something you have to panic about. It is 3 games. It's a long season. Rodon's usually better in the warmer weather, which is good for the summer and maybe for the fall, not as good. But it is something to keep note of that Rodon should really get back on track. And again, he looked solid. It was just things stopped going his way for a second and he got in his head. But when you're when you're just a pitcher in the MLB, you can't let things get to your head or you're going to struggle like that. So clearly an issue there, but I do trust that Carlos Rodon can find his way back. I really do. I don't think it's something that's a glaring issue for this team right now because Rodon has looked good at points. And he said, not so much that I didn't move on from these. I'm obviously frustrated with the call at Kreidler, but it was called a ball and it was a walk. So I tried to move on quickly. I wouldn't say it affected me. Obviously, it's in the back of my head. Obviously, I want that pitch called a strike, but it wasn't. Then I gave up a 3-run home run. That's what hurt me. I mean, kind of sounds like it affected you, Carlos. It does. Like, putting it like that, it didn't affect me. It was in the back of my head. Kind of sounds like it did affect you. Like, you were pitching a phenomenal game. and then you throw a hanging changeup. But sometimes hanging changeups just happen. Sometimes it just happen, and that's fine. It's totally excusable that sometimes you just throw a pitch that wasn't great. You're human. You're not going to throw every pitch perfectly. But look, I mean, those 2 walks clearly rattled you, and it's hard to imagine that they didn't have an effect. All that being said, it's understandable. It's just something that has to be worked on, and effectively just something that I trust the New York Yankees will be fine, and I think Carlos Rodon will be fine because he finished the game with 8 strikeouts. He pitched well. A guy notorious for struggling in colder weather pitched really well and just happened to have a bad 3 stretch of batters. But when that happens, you sometimes tend to lose games. So hopefully Rodon can bounce back. Again, I truly think he can. I think he is a good pitcher. He shows that time and time again with the Yankees. He's had some poor luck since he signed here, but you got to fight luck sometimes. Even if you have bad luck, it doesn't mean it should keep you down. And I don't think it's going to keep Carlos Rodon down. He's an excellent pitcher at the end of the day, and we all know that. So hopefully it all works out for Carlos Rodon. I believe in him, especially the Yankees needed to. This contract is massive. He's on year 3 of this $27 per year $1 million deal. So 6 years, $162 million. He's got to start pitching like that because he hasn't been yet. But guys, what do you think? Is Carlos Rodon something we should be worried about? How worried should we be? 1 to 10, what's the panic meter? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.